Are you open to suggestions about locations when property hunting in Spain? While you may think you know exactly where you want to be, we've had lots of cases in which clients who did think they knew exactly where they wanted to be ended up buying in a location they had never visited or even heard of before we suggested it. Unlike estate agents, who are only interested in selling properties in their patch, buying agents don't have patches and aren't limited to one particular area. We cover whole regions and are able to compare and contrast different areas based on the criteria you've given us. The answers to all those questions we ask at the start help us identify the locations that would really work for you. And of course, many buyers aren't 100% fixed on one location and are open to suggestions. Knowing somewhere as a tourist can't compare with the in-depth local knowledge we have. I call this part of a property search the where before the what. As an example of how this can work, some years ago I was working for a family with 2 small children, and they really wanted a location from which they could walk to the nearest beach without crossing a road, and also not need to hire a car, and access to a swimming pool would be a bonus. They thought they wanted somewhere in or near Marbella, but only because they'd had a few holidays there, and they didn't know anywhere else. If I was going to stay in budget, I knew it would be a big ask in the Marbella area, but I was prepared to give it my best shot. However, when I asked if I could suggest alternative locations that I thought would suit them perfectly and give them more options, they said yes. So I got to work and did find a couple of options in the wider Marbella area that satisfied the walk to the beach no road criteria, less so when it came to no driving. While I was inspecting these properties, I mentioned to the estate agent that I was also looking on the east side of Malaga and had made several appointments to look at properties over there. I knew what his reaction would be, and I wasn't wrong. Roll of the eyes, shake of the head as he said, "It's very different over there, you know." I replied, "Yes, I know, that's precisely the point, and it may suit them better." The problem for him was that it wasn't his patch, so he had to talk it down, and I strongly suspected he'd never actually been to over there. When these clients came to view the short list of recommended properties, we thought it made sense to start with the area they didn't already know. At the end of the first day, they told me to cancel the appointments in the Marbella area scheduled for the following day. They had quickly realized that somewhere they had heard of but never visited, and certainly hadn't considered as a potential location for their purchase, ticked all their boxes. And the result? A 3-bedroom penthouse in the church square, 100 meters walk down a little lane to the beach, not a car in sight, and no need to hire a car either. However, there was one thing missing. That was a swimming pool. We asked at the town hall and got permission for an 8-meter swimming pool on the roof terrace. Job done. Do get in touch and tell us what you want. We'll focus on the where first, and then we'll find the what.